Men are so fucking weak. They gain 5 pounds and then go kill their parents. Put that on a shirt, bitch. Imagine if they had to deal with periods. Get the fuck out of here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Heather Shaw is Kidding. It's me, Heather Shaw. Happy Wednesday. Lots going on out there. Dear God. Dear God. I saw an ICE agent slip on ice. You call that ice on ice crime. Okay. If you're in Minneapolis, just know I'm standing with you. Ice is insane. Fuck ice. I don't even order drinks with ice in it anymore, just out of protest. I say I would like a glass of water with frozen water. Yeah, it's pretty rough out there. We're going to try to keep it light this episode. If you want to know my thoughts on ice, if you want to know my thoughts on the Golden Globes, you know, I talked about that on the Patreon episode this past week. Join the Patreon. I get real in depth about my thoughts on ice. Not that I'm trying to shield it from the main episode, but this is a comedy podcast, trying to keep it light and fun. And, you know, the Patreon is more personal and what's going on. And if you want to hear my thoughts, you got to pay money, baby. You got to pay $3 a month. I'm not a cheap slut. Yes, I am. I'm selling my words for $3 a month. If you can't afford that, sister, you've got bigger problems. Patreon.com/Heather Shaw Comedy. And I said sister because I know most of my listeners are women or gay men or non-binaries who would not be offended by women. There's no straight man listening. If you're a straight man listening to this, you're gay. Okay. Patreon.com/Heather Shaw Comedy. Extra episodes of this podcast every single week over there. Also available through Apple subscriptions. You know, I go into my thoughts on how Nikki Glaser did at the Golden Globes, my thoughts on the Golden Globes, my thoughts on ICE, and a bunch of other things. So become a Patreon member, become a member of that community. It's very fun over there. We got a chat. We got bonus episodes and my nudes. No one ever likes my nudes on Patreon, so I don't know what's going on over there. Don't forget to rate and review this podcast if you'd like. I don't know. It's your life, bitch. I don't know. Right, sister? Upcoming shows. Tonight, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. It's sold out. Thank you so much to Louisville. I'll be doing more shows in Louisville as I'm working on a new hour of material. I was trying to put together a monthly show in Louisville at Planet of the Tapes or somewhere else, maybe at the Ball Pit at Chuck E. Cheese, somewhere that's conducive for comedy. Maybe just the wall ride at Chuck E. Cheese. I just go in a circle. What's the deal with airline food? This is my impression of Gypsy Rose as Ice. Get down, motherfucker! She would not join ICE. Gypsy Rose would not join ICE. Okay. I don't think she would. She seems like she has a good heart. She doesn't want to bully anybody. No authoritarian in her world. She doesn't want to be an authoritarian figure. You know. That would be very fun, though. What else? Next week, I'm shooting my special in Janesville, Wisconsin at the Comedy Cabin. 2 shows, 1 night. Those are going to sell out. Get tickets if you're in Janesville, baby. I'm in Appleton, Wisconsin next weekend. Friday, Saturday at Skyline Comedy Club. Going to be a very fun time. And then later on this month, on the 30th, I'm in Springfield, Missouri. Going to the Springfield Comedy Club. That used to be the Blue Room. Remember the whole drama with the club not paying comics? So then I canceled my gig. And somebody came in and bought that club and changed the name, and they're paying comics. So now I'm going back and doing a show there. Get tickets at heathershawcomedy.com. Join my email list so you get notified when I'm in your city. Go to punchup.live/heathershaw. If you go there, you can join my email list, and you will get notified when I'm in your city. I'm not going to bother you with a bunch. It's not spam. I'm just literally going to email you when I'm in your city doing shows. So if you want to stay up on that, because I know sometimes that you can miss when I'm in your city. If you're in Gary, Indiana, sign up. I'll email you, hey, I'm in Gary, Indiana. Please help. I don't know where I am. I'll email you. punchup.live/heathershaw. Live/Heather Shaw. And that's it. We got a bunch of other cities that we're adding cities every day for the tour, doing a new hour after I shoot my special. So that's going to be very exciting. And I'll give you the whole list at the end of the show. I'm not going to bore you with it now, baby. But join that email list, God damn it. Be a real fan. Okay, I thought it'd be fun to start off this show with some blind items from the Golden Globes, and we're going to guess them together. They are not revealed blind items. These are just blind items that are out there from Monday, so a couple days ago. And I'm going to read them. I'm going to give you a second to take your best guess, and then I'm going to give you my best guess. And be quick with the guess. Okay, I'm not going to wait for like 5 minutes. You really got to shout it out. I'm going to give you like 5 seconds. I know it's not a lot, but, we got a show to make here. Okay, blind item number 1. These are all from the Golden Globes. What the producer wore is not what the actress/singer/producer wanted him to wear. So what this person wore is not what his wife or girlfriend wanted him to wear. What's your guess there? Producer. See, okay, I'm going with music producer on this, and I think it's Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez. I think that Benny Blanco wore something that Selena Gomez was like, oh, that's what you're wearing? Oh, okay, Benny. Benny, I don't know. I kind of want us to wear something. I know she has lupus. Don't yell at me about my impression. Every day online, if somebody makes a comment about Selena Gomez or some other person, a Gomez head jumping in going, she has lupus. You can't make fun of her. Yes, you can. She's a celebrity. Okay? If I had terminal cancer, I'd hope you roast my ass. Oh, Benny, you're wearing that? Okay. Next blind item. No one wanted to be caught in a picture with the former A-list actor and his actress wife. That is a no-win photo. Huh. Who do you think that is? Can I tell you my guess? No, you're still thinking? Okay. I'll give you a sec. Former A-list actor, actress wife. No one wants to take a photo with them. Okay, I think it's Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. That's career suicide. You can't write a note to a judge asking him to help your pedophile best friend get out of jail because he has a daughter to raise. He would never touch her, Judge. He already touched the people he wanted to. Like, it's a little career suicide. Now, Ashton Kutcher, I was wondering where he was. He has a new show coming out. A Ryan Murphy show. Ryan Murphy followed me on Instagram. I'm sure he's unfollowed me by now because I made a video about Dax Shepard and did shade Ashton Kutcher, and he has a new vehicle starring Ashton Kutcher. I don't think Ryan Murphy follows me anymore on Instagram, but he did for a sec till he realized I was evil. Ashton Kutcher is starring in a Ryan Murphy show that my wife told me is essentially a ripoff of The Substance. I haven't seen the trailer for it, but I trust my wife with my life, and she's very smart, and I believe it. So spread the word. Ryan Murphy, I think they're doing an old AHS. They're bringing back all the cast members that made AHS great. Thank God. I think it's like Kathy Bates, Jessica Lange. You need Jessica Lange. You need Kathy Bates. You need Evan Peters. You need Julia Roberts' weird ass niece. You need Sarah Paulson. Like, if you can bring them back, you're going to make magic. So I'm looking forward to that. I do like Ryan Murphy old AHS seasons. I do. And I have nothing against Ryan Murphy. I don't really know anything about him. A few of his recent projects have been, I haven't even watched them. Kim Kardashian pretending to be a lawyer because it's the only lawyer it's the closest she'll get to being a lawyer is one on TV. And now this Ashton Kutcher Substance, which is very ironic because his ex-wife was in The Substance. Right? Have we pieced that together? That's a little weird. Anyways, I don't like Ashton Kutcher. Got to steal the thunder from his ex-wife somehow. Okay, next blind item. This actress has hit it big with 2 hit shows by the same creator. She was wasted drunk at an afternoon party the day before the award show. Immediately I know who this is, and I fucking support her. Okay, this actress has hit it big with 2 hit shows by the same creator. That tells you Vince Gilligan, because we got Pluribus out. And she also starred in Better Call Saul. It's Rhys Seehorn, baby. And I support Rhys Seehorn partying her face off. For the work she's done in Better Call Saul and now Pluribus, she deserves to get day drunk at a fucking Golden Globes party, bitch. Let her puke on Leo DiCaprio. I don't give a shit. I support Reese Seahorn. Love it. That's a fun one. I'm sorry I didn't give you time to guess, but that was an easy one. And if you have not seen Pluribus yet, go watch Pluribus. Sign up for a free fucking trial on Apple TV because I don't know who has a subscription to that. I just canceled mine. I'm going to get my subscription back once Pluribus comes back in like 4 years. It's fine. All right, next blind item. The people of the meme actor didn't want the reality star being asked questions on the red carpet. So this actor's team did not want his girlfriend / reality star being asked questions on the red carpet, which is a very smart move and obviously good. You don't want to take away from his shine. It is. Did you guess it? I mean, what other major actor is dating a reality TV star? It's Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. And that's a very fair move. His team is like, hey, we're not asking Kylie about anything. This is Timothy's night. This is for people who have a craft. We're not going to be asking Kylie how her lip kit is doing. So that's good. Next blind item. This permanent A-list actor is an Oscar winner and nominee. He has been keeping his cancer diagnosis within the family, so to speak. But everyone noticed last night how he looked. I don't know, guys. I don't know. This permanent A-list actor is an Oscar winner / nominee. I've got a few guesses on this. Did Sean Penn win an Oscar? Oscar win. Let me see. So he has won an Oscar twice. Yep. Okay. The other one I want to know is, has Stellan Skarsgård win an Oscar? No. Okay, so it's not Stellan Skarsgård. Although the blind item is saying winner / nominee. I mean, I don't know if they're saying winner and nominee or winner or nominee. He's been keeping his cancer diagnosis within the family, but everyone noticed how he looked last night. I would say either Sean Penn or Sean Penn. I mean, that guy smokes like a chimney, but he was also smoking in the room. He was smoking at the Golden Globes room. I kind of love him. He's a really bad person. I mean, he beats on women. He beat on Madonna. But he's a fantastic actor, and you know that I'm a proponent of separating art from the artist because without that, we have nothing. So I could see it being Sean Penn for sure. Okay. Which is sad, but, don't hit women. You won't get cancer. Next blind item. Speaking of permanent A-list actors, this permanent A-list actor / sometime director did nothing but trash the host all night. He hates her and hates female comics. Okay, this is another one where I think it could have been Sean Penn. Because he's a permanent A-list actor. He does sometime direct. It's not Leo DiCaprio, right? I would have thought Leo, but I don't think Leo DiCaprio has ever directed a film. Let's see. He's never directed a film. Yeah, so it's not Leo, which is surprising because I would have been like totally on board. I think it might be Sean Penn. If Sean Penn has cancer and is also like, I fucking hate women comics, that's very fun. Isn't that fun? I would tend to believe this is Sean Penn more than the cancer one. Because he is a sometime director. He did Into the Wild. I think he's done some other films. He is a permanent A-list actor. And he doesn't like women. He doesn't like them so much that he hits them. Okay. Next blind item. We have 2 more. This one's like kind of juicy, and I don't really know much about this person, but I think I know who this is about. This resurgent actor, there's a hint, somebody who's having a comeback. This resurgent actor was at a private event on Saturday with his wife glued to his side the entire time. Not a single minute alone. Even if you asked him for a quick photo, she was in it. Just enough to make you wonder if she already knew his alleged mistress was also there. If she actually wanted to shut it down, she could worry less about keeping him in check and more about a certain gas station near Fletcher Drive and Riverside Drive. That's very specific if you're in LA, where he's been spotted picking up a woman who isn't an actress, works with him, and isn't his wife. Somebody behind the scenes, perhaps. Maybe like a makeup artist or, craft services. Which probably explains why the Rabbit Studio in Burbank is really pushing the whole good guy and family man in the premiere and awards season. They know he's a reputational time bomb, not just because of his ideology. Okay, resurgent actor. Okay, who's, what's the Rabbit Studio? Is that Warner Brothers? Wait a minute. Rabbit Studio. I'm so dumb. Rabbit Studio. I'm looking this up. Major studios in Burbank. Because I bet you know what Rabbit means. I don't. Warner Brothers is not it, right? Walt Disney Company and Warner Brothers. Burbank is home to Walt Disney Company and Warner Brothers. But is Warner Brothers a rabbit? I thought Warner Brothers was like... Maybe it's a rabbit because of... I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, and I don't care that much to know. I'm gonna tell you who I think this is. I think this is Noah Wyle. Okay, I think this is Noah Wyle with The Pit. He's an actor who was big in the 90s, right? What show was Noah Wyle on? ER? Right? Wasn't he on ER? And now he's back with The Pit, which is another hospital drama. This poor guy is just stuck in hospitals pretending to be smart. I don't know anything about Noah Wyle's ideology. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that hints to. Could be, pro-Israel. I don't really know. What if he's like, oh, Epstein did nothing wrong? I love that guy. I don't really know, but it seems to be like it's Noah Wyle, and people think he's like this clean, squeaky clean image. Really, no, he's having affairs, and it's not. To me, I don't watch The Pit. I don't really care about that, but there you go. That's my guess on that one. Last one. So is The Offspring still with the foreign-born former boy bander, or was she just making out with the three-named actor to be friendly? Ooh. Now, what actress is dating a former boy bander? Foreign-born. Who's a foreign-born former boy bander? Harry Styles. Who's Harry Styles been reported to be dating? Zoe Kravitz. Who is the three-named actor? It is probably Jeremy Allen White from The Bear. Okay, that would be my guess. Zoe Kravitz making out with Jeremy Allen White while she's supposed to be jumping on that Harry Styles dick. I didn't know. I don't know if they're like together. I'm looking it up now. Harry Styles. Let me see if there's like pictures of them fingering each other. Yeah, they're supposed to be dating. She went from Channing Tatum. Did Channing Tatum date Zoe Kravitz? Remember he had that really cringy Instagram caption for her? Channing Tatum used to follow me. I'm sure he doesn't anymore. A lot of these celebrities follow me, and then I talk shit about their friends, and then they're like, goodbye, bitch. Yeah, they were a couple. Channing Tatum seems really nice and really dumb. I mean, he wrote a caption for her. We've talked about it on this podcast before. The Instagram caption he wrote, it was like, oh, sweet child. We can just use we don't have to use our words. We just throw up some pictures of your cute little face. All right, that is, those are the blind items that I thought were fun. Hope you enjoyed those. I did. All right, Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers are in some hot water. It's a rough time to be coming out and saying anything, that doesn't align with your very gay, liberal, white savior audience. You know, who is listening to Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers? Straight women and gay men. I think that would be my biggest, that would be my guess, who's really tuning in. I don't listen to Los Culturistas. I don't think so, honey. Listening to Los Culturistas. Nothing against them. I actually did a live show with Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers before they were big. They came through Orlando when I was still in Orlando as a comic, a very young comic. They just put out a wide casting call for comics to come up and do I Don't Think So, Honey bits during a live show at a comedy club. And I went up, and they did not introduce themselves to anybody on the show. They didn't say like, hey, thanks for doing the show. It was very just like, hey, if you're a comic, just come up and do this for our show because we don't have material. The only time I said anything to them was when they called up my name so that I could go on stage and do an I Don't Think So, Honey. And I did not understand what they wanted. I don't remember what my I Don't Think So, Honey was. I think it was something about Facebook, because that was literally the major social media. It was Facebook and Instagram at the time. And Facebook was still like kind of usable. Like people were using it. This had to have been in like 2018, 17. But yeah, they weren't warm. They didn't introduce themselves to anybody. It was not that they had to. I'm just giving you the tea. if I had to hang out with one, I would choose Bowen. I don't like Matt Rogers. There's something about him. Call it discernment. I just think he's like a snake, kind of catty. I don't think so, honey. Matt Rogers, completely. But they got a little hot water. Bowen just left SNL to pursue other projects. I'm sure he's got a lot going on. Within a week or two of that happening, 2 weeks, they're on a podcast talking about how they shouldn't give money to a black representative in Texas. I don't know that was the move. Here's the thing. I always say politicians are politicians. They're not really to be trusted. I kind of agree with at the end of the day, politicians are just politicians. Like, why are you being a politician? I don't think it was smart to come for the only black representative in Texas who's going to be running for a Senate seat and saying, don't give her money. I think that's a weird angle. Girls, I think that's a weird fucking angle, especially as two gay men who are constantly using African-American vernacular. I don't know, constantly stealing from the black community, the things you say. Oh, girl, child, I don't think so, honey. You rip off of their culture and then turn around and say, ew, don't give them money. They're not going to win. You think Jasmine Crockett's going to win in Texas? I don't think so, honey. Like, shut the fuck up. Know your place. Some things, Tina Fey was right. She got on their podcast and said, hey, now that you're in the spotlight, now that you're famous, keep some fucking opinions to yourself. Do you want to work with some people? I could take her advice. I'm never going to be on the Dax Shepard podcast. Oh, no. But I think it was a weird fucking move. They could have came for any other fucking politician. The way they talked about Jasmine Crockett was very interesting. Matt Rogers kept saying she's too defined. She's just too defined. What the fuck does that mean? What do you mean she's too defined? You mean too black? What are you saying? I don't know. We need some... It was so fucking weird. And I have to say, part of me was thinking like, okay, who paid them for them to say this out loud? Like, it sounded like somebody came to them and said, listen, you got the gays and the women in your court. Can you just say that Jasmine Crockett has no chances at a Senate seat in Texas? We just think it's better for the DNC if we don't have a loud black woman. Not that. I mean, if we're going to have a black woman, she better sound like Michelle Obama. She can't sound like Jasmine Crockett. We want a certain kind of black. You know what I mean? It's just, part of me is like, who paid them? And they accepted the money because they're, vapid, soulless freaks. Elite power gays are the scariest type of gay. I don't want to know what Andy Cohen does in his downtime. I love Andy Cohen for his contribution from the Housewives, but I think he's a good person. I don't think anybody in that type of power is a good person. I think, especially a man. But it's also very rich. Two gay men coming out against a woman. It doesn't matter if a man is straight or gay. They still hate women. They still just can't stand to see women doing anything successful. It's just a weird take. Keep it to your fucking self. Who do you think this is for? This is why, again, I think they were paid, because if you've gotten this far, you're this successful, you know who your audience is. You know they're not going to want to hear that. I don't know. I mean, that would be like me coming out. And this is a little bit more drastic, but if I was like, guys, just comply with ICE. If we just comply with ICE, I know they're the bad guys, but we just gotta comply. Like, who is that for? So it was a weird thing to come out with. You could have waited on anybody else politically. You're worried about a Senate seat in Texas? Huh? You live in fucking New York, you fairy. What are you talking about? Yang said he must agree after Rogers said that voters shouldn't waste money on Crockett's Senate bid in Texas. You should not. It's just a weird thing to say. It's a weird stance to take. I don't know why you would have aired that publicly if not because you were being paid to say that. And Matt Rogers came out Saturday with an apology, as you do. His PR team was working overtime. He said, hey, everybody, I hear the response and I'm taking every bit of it to heart. I promise. Typing this as he's doing lines of ketamine, I'm sure. What else did he say? Transparency and candor matter to me. He's a very progressive person who cares deeply about winning these elections and called his phrasing in the initial assessment not right. I have great respect and admiration for Representative Crockett and regret that my words suggested otherwise. She's just too defined as a person. I just want us to win, and I'll be better at finding ways to help. You could do literally so many other things. If you want to help somebody win, I would think going on your the most successful gay podcast ever with guests like Tina Fey and Amy Poehler and, Ariana Grande, Mariah Carey. You think you'd have enough listeners to maybe sway some opinions on Jasmine Crockett or to get people in Texas to get out and vote for Jasmine. It's a weird, not surprising take from a white gay man. And again, I don't mean to sound like a misandrist. I would hate to be labeled a misandrist. That's sarcasm in my voice. But men, no matter if they're straight or gay, very few little of them actually like women. Just remember that. They'll steal your culture if they're a gay man. They'll steal your words. If you're a black woman, watch out. They're going to steal your phrasing and your words and your slang, but they're not going to support you in any way. God, if there was an AIDS epidemic and it affected only lesbians, we would have been left out to dry. Gay men would not have shown up and helped us at all. Very few gay men, at least. Lesbians were there in droves to help gay men out. And it's just because women are superior to men in all ways. Sorry. I love when people comment like, oh, you're just a man hater. Oh, what, do you have 2 eyes and 2 ears? I don't hate men, but we have to see what's going on here. I'm not actively like seeking out men and being like, fuck you, bitch. But I don't trust them a lot, honestly. And if you want to know why, I don't know. Look at Everything Ever. What did he say? So Rogers did say, let me qualify the Jasmine Crockett thing. She's not going to win a Senate seat in Texas, you guys. If Beto O'Rourke couldn't do it, Jasmine Crockett's not going to do it. It's nothing against her. It's just that she's a politician and that she is a very well defined already. And it's, in my opinion, that we're going to need somebody who's less defined at this moment that rises up. Yeah. Girl, sit the fuck down. Girl, I don't think so, honey. Leave your shoes on a fucking airplane. All right. It's like, I don't care if people want to talk about politics, but girl, read the room. Read the room, bitch. And it's very selective how you want to talk about politics. Have you talked about ICE? Maybe they have. I don't listen to their podcast. I don't listen to anybody's podcast, really. What are you doing here? But, just not a fan. I have seen some Asian creators on TikTok say that Bowen Yang, he just wants to be a white guy. I don't know if that's true. His best friend's a white gay guy. I think he's done pretty well for himself. It's weird that he agreed with this take as a person of color, but that's just life. I just think, if that's what they really think, that's fine. You can have your opinion on things, but some things you just don't say into a fucking microphone. I think you needed to be humbled a little, and I'm not saying stick to politics, but read the fucking room, guys. Come on. All right. Let's get into an ad read now, and then we'll get over to the other story I wanted to talk about. Lucy Brown, baby. You know him, you love him. It's the coffee subscription program I am talking about all the time. Let me take a sip of this water here, and then I'll, if you have a sipping water kink, listen the fuck up. Turn that volume up. Okay. That's not really how I sip water, but I was just doing it for the people who get off on that. You're welcome. That was free. Lucy Brown Coffee. They have the coffee subscription that I am always ranting and raving about every goddamn episode. Do they sponsor the show? Yes. Do I use their coffee subscription? Yeah. Do I love their coffee subscription? You betcha. I love it. It's the best. Every single month, I get a new bag of coffee from a different roaster. It's never the same bag of coffee, dude. It's fucking crazy. It's been going on 2-3 years now. I can't even keep track. I'm so hopped up on this poop juice. If I was a coffee roaster, I would just make beans and call it poop juice. Heather Shaw's poop juice. These magical beans will make you toot. Yeah. get the coffee subscription program. It's very good. Every single month, without missing a beat, Lucy Brown Coffee is sending you a bag of coffee from one of their hand-selected roasters from all over the country. I've gotten beans from Cincinnati. I've gotten beans from Kentucky. I've gotten beans from, I think, Colorado. I've gotten beans from goddamn Antarctica. I've gotten beans made by penguins up there. It's fucking crazy. These penguin beans. It's a great coffee subscription. It's very easy to sign up for, and it delivers like Domino's every single month. And you can set the preference. You like dark roast? You like light roast? You like medium roast? It's a great gift. I could go on and on. If you love coffee, this is the thing for you. If you are like, damn, I wish I could try coffee from different states, without having to go online and just finding a roaster in another state, this is the coffee program for you. They're just going to send it to you. And it's good-ass coffee. I promise you. It's never like, oh, this is not very good this month. No, every month I'm like, God damn, so good. Go to lucybrown.com. That's LUSSI Brown.com and sign up for their coffee subscription program by clicking the coffee subscription button. It's so easy. And you'll start getting beans sent straight to your door. And if you use the code Heather Shaw is kidding, all one little long run-on word, Heather Shaw is kidding, you're going to get 10% off your first order. It's a good way to start the year. Getting some coffee to get your gears going every single day. I highly suggest it. Thank you so much, Lucy Brown, for being an OG sponsor of the show. We love you so much. And visit them if you're in Lexington, Kentucky. God damn it. All right. We are getting into Nick Reiner news. This is a little old. I mean, this news came out like last week, early on, like last Wednesday. So the episode's coming out Wednesday, and then when something happens Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday night, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to wait a whole week to talk about this. Nick Reiner, you probably know this if you're listening to this, you like pop culture, but yes, his attorney did remove himself from the case. His attorney was that high-profile attorney who represented, I think, Harvey Weinstein and also Karen Reed. He got Karen Reed off, not guilty as she should be. I mean, that was a slam dunk easy case. He might have done that pro bono. I'm not sure. But Alan Jackson, he was the high power attorney who was representing Nick Reiner, who stabbed his parents to death. Do we even have to say allegedly? People magazine didn't even say allegedly. They just came right out. What's he going to do? Sue from jail? Alan Jackson, the attorney, has withdrawn from the case. That was last Wednesday he withdrew. So now Nick Reiner is going to be represented by a public defender, a woman named Kimberly Green, who has, I think, 19 years of experience being a public defender, which means she probably just has a good heart. Being a public defender is not for the weak. You're not making a lot of money. You're representing people, poor people, who may be unjustly charged with crimes or be made unjustly, overcharged with crimes, things like that, or given sentences that maybe don't fit the crime just because they're black or poor. I like public defenders. We have a need for them. I think it's a thankless job. You don't make a lot of money. It's like the social work of law, really is. I like public defenders. She's been doing it for 19 years. That's huge. In LA, that cannot be easy. The things she's seen, the things she's had represent, whether innocent or guilty parties, it doesn't really matter. Obviously, Nick Reiner's pretty guilty. This seems like a pretty open and shut case. It's you put the kids on as a witness on stand during the trial. You show the murder evidence. You show the photos. I think even Nick Reiner said that he's done it. They're saying that this trial won't even happen for 2 years. It could take 24 months for the state to build up their case. I mean, guys, it's really, I think we could put this together pretty quickly. You have a drug-addicted, maybe schizophrenic kid who's had multiple events in a past history, who has slashed the throat of his parents. I heard it. I mean, that's what David Spade said in an interview. He said that he slashed the throats of Rob Reiner and Michelle Reiner, which is horrific. But, I know the justice system moves slow and things just take time. But Reiner is going to be represented by a public defender. Alan Jackson did not give a reason But he did tell reporters that he's not guilty of murder under the state of California. So here's what he said. He said, while he was resigning, by the way. Alan Jackson said, we've investigated this matter top to bottom, back to front. What we've learned, and you can take this to the bank, is that pursuant to the law of this state, pursuant to the law in California, Nick Reiner is not guilty of murder, he said. Now, a lot of people were up in arms about that. How could you say this kid's not guilty of murder? You got to listen to what he's saying. Before he resigned, Alan Jackson said, pursuant to the law in California, he's not guilty of murder, which means he probably, most likely, would have entered Nick Reiner into an insanity plea. When you enter into an insanity plea in the state of California, you are not found guilty technically. You're not found guilty of a crime. So I think that's what he's spinning here. You know, lawyers, they're such fucking I love my wife. She's not one of them. But the courtroom and litigators and especially defense, I mean, they're all just so, sneaky and ooh, they're not saying what they really. He could have just come out and said, I would have pled insanity and he wouldn't have been found guilty or not guilty. It just would have kind of been a thing of ooh, this guy's not in his right mind. But he has to mask it in legalese and lawyer speak. And so it's pursuant to law in California. He's actually not guilty of murder. Yeah, because he's fucking insane is what you're saying. The charges carry a maximum sentence of death. I don't know. Here's the thing. I do think with the stories that are coming out now about Nick Reiner, about where he's at right now personally. TMZ is running documentaries all day on this shit. It's fucking crazy. They're so exploitative. It's just TMZ. It is what it is. They're already doing specials on TV calling the Reiner murders. What really happened? What's going on? And so they're coming out with all this information we probably shouldn't be privy to, but we are privy to. According to the TMZ documentary, Nick was aware of his alleged actions at the time of the murders, but doesn't understand why he's in jail. Okay? Sources connected to the Reiner family tell us Nick knows what he did. He knows that he killed his parents, but he doesn't understand why he's in jail. He's delusional. I don't know if that's the right word. He thinks this is all a conspiracy against him. Now, to me, that screams mental illness, maybe schizophrenia, delusions, things like this. The documentary claims that the delusion stems from a change in his medication, which was treating his schizoaffective disorder, which they say he was diagnosed with in 2020. So this all really, it does make sense that this guy is probably insane. He's probably not all there. He understands what he did, but he can't understand that he put himself in jail. He thinks it's a conspiracy. No, I murdered my parents, but they would set me up to do this kind of thing. And that maybe he's playing it up, I certainly would if I were him. Dude, I'd be like, fuck it, dude. I got medication for schizoaffective disorder. I don't think he's playing it up, but I'm saying I wouldn't blame him. What's he have to lose? I think I'd much rather be in a mental health hospital than a prison for the rest of my life, I think. I don't really know, but I would think a mental health hospital, and I mean, what do they call them? Insane asylums? I don't know if it's a mental health hospital so much as a nut house, to be rude about it. But in LA, maybe it's not as bad as if you were in, Iowa. The TMZ founder Harvey Levin claimed that Nick's doctors changed his medication a month prior to the murders after Nick complained of weight gain, which Levin said messed Nick up profoundly. Men are so weak. Men are so fucking weak. They gain 5 pounds and then go kill their parents. Put that on a shirt, bitch. Imagine if they had to deal with periods. Get the fuck out of here. The entire society would be murdered. His meds are still not right, and the doctors in jail are trying to figure it out, noting he is still delusional. Hey, man, maybe don't fix his meds. Maybe just let him be delusional, because getting him right means he's going to have to come to terms with what he's done. I mean, Jesus, can you imagine? Finally, you figure out your meds. Finally, you're feeling a little bit more lucid and understanding, and you realize what you've fucking done, and now you're done for life. You might be sentenced to death. Crazy shit. And I've heard that does happen. I forget, but recently I heard a thing about, I forget who it was. I thought it was another high profile case. It might have been, I don't want to speak out of turn here. I don't know if it was Tommy Lee's daughter. Somebody had changed up their meds and it messed him up a bit. It can, it can. especially when you're dealing with when you're dealing with meds for like schizoaffective disorder and stuff, it's a lot more dramatic and than like, changing SSRIs for depression and stuff. But all of it can really mess you up. It's a scary thing with it. I'm trying to see if there's anything else in this article that's... While it's still unclear what the defense strategy will be when the Reiner case goes to trial, the documentary hypothesizes that his team will pursue a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity. I think that's a really good idea. I think I said that when this first came out. You gotta go the insanity route. It could be absolutely true now that we're learning that he's changed his meds and stuff. It could be a very airtight defense, honestly, truly. And that's just a really unfortunate thing. If that's really what happened, if he was on something or he was affected by his mental illness, that is just a very unfortunate thing that happened. And not to excuse what he did, but I can sympathize with that, really. But to be like, doctor, you got to change my meds. I'm gaining weight. Girl, get a fucking grip. I don't think so, honey. Okay, sorry. I had to do a callback. I just get on Las Culturistas and I'm like, I don't think so, honey. Murdering your mom and dad because you gained weight. Okay. What else do we want to talk about? It's a great episode for me. I'm enjoying this. Timothy Busfield, Melissa Gilbert's husband, is he's on the run. Allegedly. I mean, I don't have to say allegedly. Apparently he's on the run. I don't know if you've heard about this. I don't really know who Timothy Busfield is. He kind of looks familiar. Mouth fart. He was in West Wing. I did not really watch West Wing. I wasn't a 40-year-old dad in the 90s. Or early 2000s. I'm sure I'd like West Wing, to be honest. I just never watched it. And I like Veep, so we're good. And House of Cards. I've got my administration TV covered. Timothy Busfield's location remains unknown. U.S. Marshals are stepping in to assist the police 3 days after the arrest warrant was issued. So Timothy Busfield, known from... what was it? West Wing. I don't know what else. I don't know what else. He's married to Melissa Gilbert. She was in Little House on the Prairie. That's all I got on that. I don't really know much about her. I think she might have been, I'm going to look this up. I think she might have been the president of SAG. Before Fran Drescher. Yeah. Melissa Gilbert served 2 terms as president of the Screen Actors Guild from 2001 to 2005. Oh, they vote them in. They're like presidents. She served 2 years. She stepped down in 2005. So this is a while ago. She was president of SAG. But I had a brief memory of that. So the U.S. Marshals have stepped in to help locate Timothy Busfield after a warrant was issued for his arrest over alleged child sex abuse crimes. It's real gross shit. The Albuquerque Police Department, APD, is alleging that he engaged in unlawful sexual conduct with 11-year-old twin boys. God, that is fucking disgusting. Men! Okay, and you wonder why I don't really vibe with them. It's this shit. It's everything else as well. So, yeah, they issued an arrest warrant. They can't find him. He may be on the run. He may be dead somewhere in the woods. Listen, if I was this guy, I would be like, the jig is up. Shoot myself in the woods somewhere. The Albuquerque Police Department confirmed to people that they are working with the U.S. Marshals to locate and arrest him. The arrest warrant alleges Busfield, who is married to Alyssa Gilbert, allegedly engaged in unlawful conduct with 11-year-old twin boys, which is just, dude, now they're both... Every time I hear about children being abused in this way, all I can think about is, God, I hope they're in therapy. I hope they're addressing this. I always bring it back to Intervention, but after seeing every episode of Intervention ever for 20-something seasons, I mean, addiction and trauma, it really... Most of the addicts on the show were molested, abused, assaulted sexually. It's a really traumatic event, obviously, and I just hope that those boys get therapy and have the best, happiest life as possible as they can. It's crazy. Just twin boys having to share that trauma is disgusting. I hope this guy fucking rots. I would love to cut his balls off and feed him to him. And then just like cut every finger off one by one, rip his toenails off. You know, real Ozark shit. It's just disgusting shit, man. Men are fucking gross. People, I guess, but mostly men. The guy's 68 years old. These are 11-year-old twin boys. It's just really wild. I'll stop saying their ages and stuff, but it's just gross. Imagine being married to that. This is the other thing. I'm like, where's Melissa Gilbert in all of this? Because here's my thing. If my spouse was if my spouse was 68 years old and alleged to be doing all these things from the government or from the State Department, or like just the police department was coming out and saying, hey, your spouse did this to 11-year-olds, I would be publicly being like, fuck this guy. This is disgusting. I will do anything I can to help capture this guy. So part of me thinks like Melissa Gilbert, she knew, she assisted, she went along, she was also like, something's fishy here. She was the president of SAG. She's in this industry, baby. You know, this industry loves to do that to kids. Hopefully she's just being quiet because her lawyers are like, hey, don't say anything. But dude, I would want to be front and center being like, this is disgusting. I'm disgusted. I vomit now when I think about how many times that guy was inside me. I will do anything to help capture him, whatever. Apparently she bought these kids Christmas gifts. So they're child actors, these boys. They were the subject of, whatever. I'm not going to say that. But so I'm trying to see, one of the minors alleged that the incidents began when he was 7. Okay. So to me, I'm just saying what I think from this. You can take whatever you think. If they've been abused, they're 11 years old. One saying I've been abused since I was 7 by Timothy. Melissa Gilbert bought Christmas gifts for the child actors who were involved in this. To me, it says, in my opinion, that Melissa Gilbert is also guilty. That Melissa Gilbert, to me, it just seems like if you've known this kid since he was 7, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe she had no fucking clue. I don't mean to put out bad juju, but where the fuck is she? Maybe she has good lawyers. They're saying be quiet. It's just, you're buying Christmas gifts for these kids. Nothing in your women intuition is peaking. Nothing. Women have such strong intuition, and you're telling me that Melissa Gilbert sees these children around her husband and doesn't pick up on anything odd, that the kids are acting completely normal, that they've been abused since they were 7 years old. They're now 10, 11 years old, and they're acting completely fine around Timothy. Well, they're actors, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't buy that. Maybe she is as evil as him. I hope she isn't, but something's a little off about it. It's a little off. They married in 2013. He's nowhere to be found, man. He's nowhere to be found. These kids were child actors who met Timothy Busfield on the set of the Fox series The Cleaning Lady, where he served as a director. The television show ran from January 2022 until June 2025. Maybe I shouldn't, I'm not going to look up this show. I'm not going to look up these kids. I really don't even want to know what they look like. I'm going to respect that. I probably shouldn't have read that out loud. This is just part of the article, and I didn't realize that, but it is something you can probably look up, who these kids are, these poor kids. Unless it's like, I don't know, it might be an animated series or something. I'm not sure. Late in October, the victim's mother filed a police report and told CPS that her children both disclosed that there was sexual abuse by Timothy from around November 22 to spring 24. However, according to the warrant, she was told that because physical abuse had not occurred, nothing could be done. During an investigation, Busfield allegedly told police that the parents were upset their sons had been replaced with a younger actor who auditioned. Yeah, it's always that. It's always like, no, the parents are retaliating because their kids aren't famous enough. Kids don't lie about sex shit. And I know that this guy, Timothy, is saying, no, the mom made it up. The kids never even told her that. But if a kid is, I just hope if a child is coming to you and telling you that something sexual happened to them, believe them. I know that you probably know if you're listening to this podcast, but like maybe you could spread the word to other people in your family or your friends groups that don't understand this. Kids don't know anything about sex. It's enough to make it up. especially if they're 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You know, they don't know. Believe children when they're talking about really insane things sexually. Just believe them. What do you have to lose? The amount of times you hear stories where parents are like, no, that didn't happen. You're making up fibs. It's like, what the fuck are you talking? You should not be a parent. You're a really bad parent. All right. I don't know what's going on. Like, where is Melissa Gilbert? I don't know if she's not said anything. It's very interesting. And he's on the run. I'm very interested. Like, let me look. Has Melissa Gilbert come out? Not gay. Said anything? Like, where is she? Has not made a public statement regarding the recent arrest. Instead, she has deactivated her social media accounts. Yeah, that's good. I don't know. If I were her team, which I'm sure her team is made up of, 3 raccoons in a trench coat at this point. But if I were her team, I wouldn't say, delete your social media. Don't make a statement. I would say, hey, maybe you can turn off your comments. And I think you need to make an image, notes, something, and post it and pin it to your Instagram account. You got to say something. Silence, to me, it's guilt, to me. I understand that everybody reacts differently, but dude, imagine if your spouse, especially if you're married or have a boyfriend, imagine if your spouse was doing this to 11-year-old boys, what would be your first reaction to the world? What would you want them to know? Nothing? You want them to speculate? You want them to know that you absolutely abhor these allegations and take it very seriously and are assisting the police department in their search for your husband who, should be brought to justice. I don't know. These are just my thoughts. What do I know? But yeah, just quit deleting your social media is just, I don't know. It's a little weird. Little goofy. Little goofy. All right. I hate to end on a dark note, guys. Should I try to find like an uplifting story? They found the other guy. They found the murderer of the dentist and his wife, which I hate that the news has been. I think it was an Ohio couple. The news has just been reporting on this couple as dentist and wife. It's 2026 and women are still being referred to as just like spouses. This guy gets to be referred to as his career. The woman gets to be referred to as his wife. I don't like it. See, my Miss Andrea is coming out, but it's really just in our faces, playing in our faces all fucking day. Could have just said husband and wife. If you're going to do that, just say husband and wife. What did she do for a living? Was she a mother? Maybe you could say mother and husband. Do you have to say the guy's profession and then her? Anyways, they found the murderer. You won't believe who killed this couple. It was an ex-boyfriend, an ex-husband, actually. Another man. Now, I saw the story about this couple being murdered on New Year's Eve. Shot in their face. They opened the door, got shot in the face. Their kids were sleeping inside New Year's Eve. And I could have told you with certainty that was a man connected to this couple somehow, either an ex-lover of the husband or an ex-lover of the wife. But that was a man. And it turned out to be the ex-husband of the woman. They were married briefly, I think for 8 months. I think they dated a while, got married, and then divorced pretty quickly. 10 years ago. This guy was holding on, harboring rage against his ex-wife for 10 years. They divorced in, I think, 2015, and he just couldn't get over it. This guy is a surgeon. This guy's a doctor, and he couldn't fucking get over it. Men are weak. You hear me? I know there are good men out here. They probably listen to the podcast. The good ones listen to the podcast. But your brethren are fucking weak, brother. They are murdering their parents when they gain weight. They're murdering their ex-wife from 10 years ago because they just can't get the fuck over rejection. Weak! I just dare you deal with it. If they had one period cramp, again, they would just drop the A-bomb on everybody. Okay, that's our show. Thank you so much for listening. That's my show. Thank you so much for listening. Again, tonight I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. I'll be adding more shows. I'm in Janesville. Let me tell you where I'm at. Join patreon.com /Heather Shaw Comedy. Join that. It's a very fun community. $3 a month. It's very cheap. Don't flimp on it. Don't flip out. What am I trying to say? Don't skimp out on it. If you want to join my mailing list, again, it's punchup. One word, punchup.live/Heather Shaw. You'll get on there and you'll see, scroll down, you can see my mailing list. It's very easy. When I'm in your city, I will email you and tell you about the shows that I'll be doing. All right, so I will be January 22nd, 2 shows, shooting my special in Janesville, Wisconsin at the Comedy Cabin. January 23rd and 24th, I'm in Appleton, Wisconsin at Skyline Comedy Club. January 30th, I'm in Springfield, Missouri at the Springfield Comedy Club doing 2 shows. In February, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Tyler, Texas, Springfield, Massachusetts. In March, I'm in Philly, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, Georgia, Detroit, Michigan, Columbus, Ohio. In April, I'm in Boston, Massachusetts. In May, I'm in Bakersfield, California, and Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas. You can get tickets at heathershawcomedy.com or on my punchup.live/Heather Shaw. Rate and review this podcast if you'd like. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week and stay gay as always. All right, see ya.